All right, Story Trading VIPs, we got some exciting things to talk about. We've been nailing it, man. We've had a good run over here. I guess we got to start with QQQ and SPY because that's the news of the day and of the week and everything. So we'll do that, but we've been nailing it with a few stocks, and I can't wait because there's some good updates on all of them that we focused on yesterday. So, but first, QQQ and SPY, I've been saying this for a while. 200-week moving average is very near. And I said this yesterday, if I had to bet, I was basically saying that the Fed decision yesterday is almost kind of meaningless when you're technically this close one way or another, and it might not have been yesterday's catalyst. I said this specifically yesterday. It may not be today. It may not be because of what the Fed does yesterday, but at some point soon, I believe we're going to test that 200-week moving average because it's like a magnet. When you're this close to very, very important support levels, the shorts want to test it. Okay. They're excited. They are foaming at the mouth and they're like, let's get it down to this level. Maybe we can even break that level. That's what's going on. That's a magnet. So QQQ and SPY, look out for that. Now, that being said, I'm going to put this out there for the first time. I've been, generally bearish the market since November. Man, if I had just stayed away since November completely when I started putting the warnings out there about the market, may have been better off. But in any case, this is the first time since November. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I've said 3 months ago that I believe the risk assets may have bottomed. And that was coincided with the RK at $35. So I'm hoping that bottom call still holds. At this point now, I'm saying, I think it's time to start thinking about regular companies, big cap companies, mega cap companies, to start accumulating this. I believe this is the start of the final leg down. Now, whether it's going to be, at the 200-week moving average, a little bit below, we know in the COVID crash, we went below and right back up. Maybe that's going to be the bottom. Okay. I am not going to bet on breaking the 200-week moving average and entering a new long-term bear market. I'm not going to bet on it until it actually happens. Okay. The trend is your friend. And the trend usually is you stay up above the 200-week moving average, or if you test it right below it, you go right back above it. Only 2 times in modern history here have we went below the 200-week moving average and stayed below it into a new really extended bear market. That was a dot-com crash and the great financial crisis. So I'm not going to bet that's going to happen. Again, until it actually happens. Unless we break that 200-week moving average and retest it and it proves its resistance and we stay below it, then you can look forward to quarters of additional pain on the major indices. For now, I'm going to be an optimist. I'm going to say that 200-week moving average is generally going to hold. So I think this is the beginning of the last leg down, and it's time to start getting optimistic, time to start accumulating and averaging down on those big mega cap names. I've already been doing that for the risk assets. So I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty excited now. So now let's talk about specific stocks that we've been nailing. Yesterday, FREY was just amazing. We had the call in pre-market when this thing was below $14. I gave you the first alert before 7 a.m. We did some crowdsourced research in the community. We got our hands on the report because there was one post on all of social media. There was one post I found that said something about a $60 price target. So I'm like, what is this? We got the report. Someone in our community found the report for us and shared it from Morgan Stanley, and it only hit Market Watch and Benzinga here. It didn't even hit Benzinga. Market Watch, it hit it at 11:07 a.m. Okay, at 11:07 a.m., they found out that Morgan Stanley made this a top pick, $26 price target, $60 bull case. So we had that information early in the morning. So it was a great day for anyone who is playing FREY. And then also I was noting if we break 1492, said this earlier in the day, if we break that high of 1492, that's an all-time high, then we could see the upper teens by the end of this week. That was my prediction. It's now Thursday. We're already at low 16s. Now, yesterday, by the way, was record volume, all-time record volume, all-time record closing high, all-time record intraday high. Okay, all of those records, I shared this with Rex later in the day. Actually, I shared it with him early in the morning. I'm not sure he saw it, but finally got a response out of him. He looked at it, and he did a chart analysis, and he posted it. And his analysis was in line with what I was saying. He's saying if the 15s held after that FOMC yesterday decision, which it did, the 15s held after a little bit of volatility. He says if the 15s hold, you're looking at a near-term price target in the $17 to $18 range, and it potentially could go supernova. Okay, so I added some of this to my long-term core position. It's a top pick by Morgan Stanley in an awesome space, EV battery space. We've been all over this, right? We know about the $3 billion deal over 5 years. So I did add some of this to my long-term IRA, but my trading shares, I sold 50% throughout the day. I also had some options I don't talk about, all right, which I did well on, and I kept some of those options into today. So that's the story with FREY. So title for today was FREY Continuation was one of the titles. All right. The other one is RUM Bounce Back on Opening NASDAQ Bell. So RUM, we also nailed this because yesterday we were talking about buying the dip and buying support. And I was predicting there's going to be more news to come. And as a battleground stock, and this is the time to buy. You buy these dips. And right after the close, I heard a rumor or some evidence about the Nelk boys joining Rumble. Yeah, and ended up that was also posted on StockTwits last night when the stock was close to $12. And lo and behold, we got now two catalysts this morning. This morning, CEO of Rumble was on the Matt Kors show live on rumble.com just about half an hour ago. And the special guest Steve Will Do It. I think he is like a Gen Z content producer, part of the Nelk boys. I think he had 5 million YouTube subscribers when he was banned, and no one really knows why he was banned. The closest possible guess is that he bought a expensive watch for Donald Trump. I don't know the backstory behind it, so perhaps it was politically motivated, even though his shows and his content are not political. Who knows? Maybe someone at YouTube said, "Hey, this guy likes Trump. Let's just ban him." I don't know what's going on at YouTube. Shooting themselves in the foot, because now it's beyond just political commentators. Maybe they're banning people just associated with Trump. I don't know what's going on, but now they're getting the Gen Z, right? Because they got who's that guy now? I forget his name. You know, the famous guy they got. Who? Oh my gosh, what the heck is his name? No, I forgot. All right, they got Andrew Tate. They got Andrew Tate. Now they got Steve Will Do It. So this is the Gen Z crowd really coming on to Rumble. So very interesting gaming crowd as well. They're targeting crypto crowd. So the momentum continues for Rumble. Remember, this is going to be a battleground stock. 1280, by the way, is really strong resistance. You can see the triple resistance here yesterday at 1280. It's continuing to be resistance in pre-market. 1280 briefly went above it, but 1280 is your resistance level here. And the next resistance level is 1340 or so. So 1280 and 1340 on RUM. And I am trading this around the core. Doing that also with the Rumble warrants. I picked some of these up at $3. I don't have a chart on this. It's not showing more than one day, but I picked these up at $3. Started buying at $3.38, bought at $3.20, $3.11, bought at $3, right? And today I'm looking forward to selling probably at the open. So that's going to be a nice little trade. Okay. Now, next thing is DRIO anticipation. We did a huge VIP program yesterday for our members. I can't get into it on this show that's going to be public by 4 p.m. But I can tell you there's lots of data out there, including a new article we found this morning. I just shared with the VIP research group, which is validating a lot of the speculation we've had in our community and some of the speculation we've seen on StockTwits. There's call buying, massive call buying in DRIO the last 3 days, and the timing matches this credible article that just came out. It was like a blog post somewhere, and we just found it. Came out 2 days ago. So I think the anticipation trade for DRIO has begun. Those of you know, I kind of went back in for the first time I got bullish. It was around $3.80 a couple days ago. I bought 15,000 shares to average down, and the stock's been on a move since as it goes on this anticipation run. And it looks at, oh, look at that MACD flip. And you can see the resistance levels here for 40 roughly is the first one, 20 DMA, of course. Yeah. Oh, wow. It hit that in pre-market. That was just a paint. So 440 is your resistance level. And I guess you can say yesterday's peak of 425 and a resistance level before that. Okay, AEHR announced earnings on October 6th, and StoryTrading announced we're going to be interviewing the CEO of AEHR the next morning, October 7th. So that's going to be great for retail traders who want to get an inside edge. Now, that's for VIP members only, but we do now offer a 7-day free trial. So if you want to hear that interview with CEO Gain Erickson of Air, you can sign up for the free trial at StoryTrading.com. So we hope to see you there. Another potential idea for just a quick trade, I don't have conviction in this name because I haven't done the research myself, but PSTV, something I've had on my radar, had a big move recently. There's a social media guru who's been pushing this, and a social media guru who's actually good, right? I think his name's FarmD. He's good with biotechs. He does good research, but he has a lot of followers and he moves stocks. So this has been on my radar. And this morning they had some news here. They previously had a $17.6 million contract award, but now they're saying it was like executed and they got the first payment of a couple $1,000,000. But what they did here is they really talked about their balance sheet and their runway. So this non-dilutive funding coupled with existing cash extends their expected cash runway through 2025. That's pretty good to hear. So, I call that fundamentals, right? This deal plus that cash runway, that's a good fundamental thing going on for them, especially with a market cap of just $11 million. It might be a negative EV, actually. I don't know if they have any debt, so we'd have to look at that. Might be a negative EV here. And then combine it with the technicals here. It looks like, see this floor at 50 cents? So we've had the support floor at 50 cents. The RSI is at 35, oversold. Then you get this catalyst. So I'm starting to think story trade on this one, right? With the pillars lined up. So I did pick some up just for a quick trade, 55 cents. I don't know the company well. I'm not going to have big size or conviction on this. So, this is something I just picked up at 55 cents. Maybe I'll sell at 62 if it works today. And if not, I might end up losing a few cents. So we'll see how that plays out. That's PSTV. All right. So there's obviously, we're monitoring all these other great stocks, and one of these stocks may end up being the standout for the day. We got to monitor it. I did pick up EAR yesterday, a little bit of EAR because of this bounce off the 50-day moving average. Not a big position because I have some unanswered questions about the rights offering. And I haven't seen anyone do due diligence on that. So I'm not going to take a big size, but that's a decent technical support off that, FDA news, which should provide good sentiment for the sector on the hearing aids going OTC. Okay, just a couple quick other things I saw in the news here. Well, we got news right now on Rockley. Rockley Photonics unveils next generation higher density laser spectrometric chip for wearable health monitoring. They reveal it doesn't look like a revenue deal. This advancement could potentially have a significant impact, so I don't think that's going to help the stock unless it's like really oversold and it just goes on a little catalyst bounce. But we're staying away from Rockley for right now. What was the other thing I wanted to show you? There's some news out. Got some pet news. I don't know if someone's following that. Agriculture stock. All right, there's something on TFFP. Okay, so we're following TFFP. Some data out. They're going to be October 18th. Some data is going to come out. So maybe that will lead to an anticipation run running into October 18th. Is that yesterday's candle? At the end of the day, there was some price action there. Someone stepping up with some volume. You can see it's trying to break over the 50 DMA, but this has not been the 20 and 50, not great indicators here, right? You got to use the past history as a guide in terms of how much do you want to rely on these DMAs. Some stocks adhere to it very, very well. Some don't. And that should be how you determine how, closely you adhere to it, right? You look at the past history. So this stock, the 20 and 50, 200 DMA might be something there. Just check, make sure we're on the daily. Yeah, so maybe, 608, if there's a little bit of breakout, that could be both resistance and a magnet at some point. But I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for news. We've had a guest come on and talk about that multiple times. So that's about it. You can see RUM here trying to break above 1280, the opening bell. There could be a bunch of excitement with the stock today. So be ready for possibly explosive moves. But in general here, when you get an explosive move, you're going to want to sell it. The shorts are going to come back in, and then you buy the dip. So good luck, guys. It was a great day yesterday. We really nailed it on FREY. I think FREY is going to continue. Really interested in continuing to watch DRIO. I don't know that I can put personally more capital into it. I'm pretty maxed out, but I think it is the start of an anticipation run, and we're going to trade Rumble and make some money. So good luck, everyone. Thanks for joining.